So what makes me look at you as a different type of MC or genius, as I like to say, because everybody has genius in them. You just got to work on yours to bring your genius out. Your skill transcends the eras of hip hop to me, and the reason why I say that is because I could bring out certain beats that I think you would sound perfect on, and it's not just your voice; it's your dexterity and your pronunciation. If I go to the true school era of hip hop, right, Heartbeat by the Treacherous Three, I think you could rock that. I think after that era, even if it was trying to be funny, I think the Fat Boy is all you can eat. I think you can get on here and do something.
That was a fire beat though.
It was, I'm saying. Bringing it back from back then up to now, because one thing, I'm a student of the game and I love my state. If there was a dream song I wish I could have heard you rock on, it would have been Milk Bones, Keep It Real. Either that beat or to go to the traditional New York sound, the Pete Rock beat from ADOR, Let It All Hang Out. I would love to hear you on them because they're different than what I'm used to with you, but they still accentuate who you are as an MC. A master of ceremonies, not a rapper.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this question. True talent spans generations and lifetimes. True skill teaches beyond the grave into wombs. What is it that the average listener will take from a Samad Savage project, song or album, and grow from when it comes to how they develop or prune their music tree?
So like a musician listening to me?
Whoever you decide to take it to. I won't limit your answer.
Alright, it kind of felt like you were going in a way of saying somebody, a creative person listening to my music. Mm-hmm. And I think what they would take from it is what I took from people that I listen to. Mm-hmm. A lot of people couldn't guess my favorite song. Like, my favorite song of all time, it's still a little arguable. There's still songs that compete with it, but is Promiscuous Girl by Nelly Furtado and Timbaland.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people would just be like, I don't know why that would be.
Because of patterns?
Not just patterns. I mean, the beat makes you move, but it's the way that he did everything. It's mostly the beat.
Okay. And
the chord choice. But then when you take everything into play, it's the most perfect song. Even the background vocals. The background vocals are the reason that my background vocals sound how they sound in OMG, literally.
Okay.
I didn't take the melody or anything, but the layering and layering and layering, and then turning it down a little bit so it just feels like it's part of the beat, and spreading it just makes it feel like you're in a room full of tribal chants, pretty much. So that's what I took from that song. And I hope that when people hear OMG and they start to create, whether it's music or whatever they're doing, they build things in depth like that.
You know what made me appreciate music? I'm gonna make you laugh because you being, you opening up to the crowd. I'm gonna open up to you. Mm-hmm. You know what made me appreciate music that much more? It wasn't hip hop. It was K-pop.
Really?
And not only that, video game soundtrack music. That
definitely influenced me.
My favorite soundtrack from a video game outside of hip hop, because we had Def Jam Vendetta, we had the Mark Echo games and stuff, right? 2 games opened there's a game series and 2 games. I love the music from God of War. That soundtrack is bananas.
Yeah.
All of them. I love the what is it called? The Gothic chants from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That soundtrack is bananas because you have chords, you have harmony, you have the organs, you got drums, you got electric guitar, and it just like bugs you out. Mm-hmm. But then there's one fighting game that opened my mind up, and that was King of Fighters 1996. And it has a remixed soundtrack, and there's the Art of Fighting team where it has bongos, electric guitars, horns, and flutes. Mm-hmm. And that expanded music to me where I was like, wow, there's so much more that hip hop is missing that very few get. Which brings us back to what we said earlier. How you brought up Q-Tip? I was going to bring him up later in this interview because Q-Tip and DJ Quick to me are more like you. And from speaking, with Q-Tip, you get the jazz. You get that because Q-Tip said his things that influenced him and his dad. I mean, his first hip hop was to talk with him and his dad how jazz, bebop also sounds like Michael Jackson, also sounds like the samples in hip hop. But not only that, if I go to DJ Quick, DJ Quick put in the beginning of one of his albums, somebody said, "What is hip hop missing?" He said, "A banjo." What the fuck you mean a banjo? But what he was talking about was instrumentation. And that also is what makes the Roots great, because that live band. I have an album I would like for you to check out. It's called The Brand New Heavies, Heavy Rhyme Experience Volume 1. Where the Brand New Heavies did a hip hop album with Grand Puba, Master Ace, N.O.G., Main Source, Coogee Rap. Excellent album which took street hip hop but put it to live instruments. And it's one of the best albums acoustically you'll ever hear. Back to the point though. Creation and being a father to sound is a big responsibility. You said the MC or the creator has none, but let's define father. A difference between a dad and a father is a dad is here, but a father teaches you beyond the grave. That's why we have Father Abraham, or the father of the civil rights eras, or the father of, because you can always get something from their teachings and their lessons. If I call Samad Savage the father of relentless honesty, what would that mean to you?
I never wanted to like achieve that title, but now that's like so much more important to me that you even said that.
Tell me why.
I've never thought of myself as that, but now that like you said it and put it out there into existence, I kind of feel like that. I hope it doesn't sound like egotistical when I say that either.
No, well, like I said, most leadership is not something people choose. It's something that is put upon them.
Yeah.
So I'm not even trying to say you're the leader of this or you're the leader of that, but you do have relentless honesty in all.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm talking about.
Right.
The relentless honesty. You're right. There's never a moment where I'm not gonna be honest. Like, people may even think that I contradict myself, but I just have my beliefs and I stick by them. Like, I talk about love, peace, and unity. I kind of hinted at the fact that I believe in gun rights, though. It's like I'm a basket case. Like, I have things in me.
There's equilibrium to all things. So to break the news to you, we got people will probably know this already, depending on what time this video comes out. But the Gray Area is nominated for a Heritage Hip Hop Award for Unsigned Artist Album of the Year. And the reason behind that is because of the relentless honesty that it took to make songs about dealing with society, dealing with mental health, dealing with parental strife, walking from state to state, dealing with a negative sentiment. And for some people, that gives them hope because they're going through those things. And then people in my position, that gives us clarity because we grew through that. And in my day of growing up, people that kill themselves over suicide and bullying and things, but we had a different way of dealing with it, but it wasn't less painful when we did. From being a voice and being of movement to being a creator and being disciplined in your sound. What is the next step that Samad Savage wants to take in being great in definition or in self-reflection?
I think greatness is something that's more like God's judgment. I used to want to do nothing but be the greatest, but then I realized that I could be the most skilled rapper or most skilled producer or most skilled at anything, and if God don't want me to be considered that by the public, then I just won't be. So I gotta just believe in myself and try to be as dope as I can and consistently work on my craft and just wait for that moment to actually come to me where people can see me as great. People definitely discredit recognition. I said on some of our world, recognition will determine your greatness, which is true. You can be great without recognition. But if nobody recognizes that you're great, then it's super arguable,